We're live. We are live. I tell you, live. Let's see. We had five people in the room already. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Trippy Food live stream. And happy Hanukkah. I guess this is there's one day left of Hanukkah. Tomorrow is the last day of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah if you so celebrate. I think we're into the winter solstice. Yeah, I think the winter solstice started. Saturnalia coming up, Festivus coming up, Kwanzaa coming up, and Christmas coming up. Oh, and Boxing Day too, if you so worship that way. So welcome everybody. Glad you could join us. Again, our surroundings are different. On the move again, in another place. So we're in. As you can probably tell, it's a hotel room, right? Kind of looks like a hotel room. I think I got this in the shot. Hang on. See, a little bit like that. And let's get that there. No, it's got to go this way. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right. So who do we got in the room already? Well, Tom was very early, and we have very early, 12:15. We have Jared Tierno in the room. We have Miguel Rangel in the room, and Jules. Jules is here. Welcome, Jules. It's crazy. But anyways, hope everyone's doing okay. I don't know. What do you guys think of the logistics here? Like, is the sound okay? I'm in a hotel room. I don't know how good their internet is. So I'm hoping that it's coming across okay and it's not all jumpy and slow and everything else and that we're actually live. I had to set up sort of lighting. I'm using some lighting on the wall and our goofy little ring light here. And then the curtains open over here. And so, again, always on the move, you know me. But so I kind of debated, do I want to do a live stream this week? And I didn't do one last week, and I missed you guys. So I decided I was going to do a live stream. So here we are in a hotel room doing a live stream with you it's the holiday season. So let's see. Jared Tino saying hello to everybody. Julie saying hi to everybody. It's good. The whole setup, good. Audio's good. Lighting's good. Video's good. Everything's good. If that's good, I'm good. Hello. Okay. That's Tom saying hello to everybody. Janice isn't here yet. I don't know if there's another festival that she's going to. There's in the LA area, there's something that's new this year. I think they're calling it Enchant, and it's out at the Santa Anita Racetrack, which is in Arcadia, and it's set up like, I think they're calling it a maze, and they have all kinds of Christmas lights or holiday lights there, and you get to walk through there. I have not been, but I understand that it's pretty spectacular. So I don't know. There's still time to go, so I might actually go and check that out. Everything A-OK there. Good. A-OK is good. Now, I remembered this time, and I have a bowl for washing my hands of the whole affair of basically Pontius piloting all the food that I get on my hands at the end of the thing when I'm doing the goût mélange. So we're all set. We're good. I think we have everything we need. We have glasses. We have cups. We have our goût mélange bowl. We have silverware. We have a cutting board. We have beverages. We have snacks. And our snacks, again, today, brought to you by LAXC. LAXC, otherwise known as the Thai Costco. All right. Hey, Jeff. Jeff is here. Okay. Let's see. Did Janice sneak in the room while we were waiting? She did not. Okay. It's not a party until Janice gets here. No, I'm just kidding. So how was your guys' week? Your guys' week? How was your week? How was the week for you guys? I don't know. And I'm saying guys literally. I don't, it doesn't have to be just, males. How was your week? Going to be a weird week coming up. So I have 2 work days. I have a work day tomorrow. Well, no, let's see. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday working, off Wednesday and Thursday because the company's closed for Christmas, and then working Friday. Then next week, off on Thursday, which is New Year's Day, I think. So it's always kind of weird when the holidays fall in the middle of the week. And when I say holidays, I'm talking about the days off because there's other holidays in and around that as well. I don't remember what day Festivus is on this year. Fighting a virus. Oh, no. Temp coming. And that's right. That's right, Jules. Temp coming and going. Buggy popped a 104. Is it yours? Did you give that to her? 104, but it popped and broke down. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if 'tis the season or well, they're going to school. School is just a big box of germs, honestly. But, hey, Stoner is here. You missed the dude, Stoner. You think you missed the dude? Oh my God, I missed the dude. I'll be seeing him in about a week or so. So I missed the dude. And you guys, I know you guys missed the dude. And we will bring the dude back soon. So, hey, Dave is here. Dave Aitken is here. Let's see. Yeah, everyone fighting off some kind of germs. Me, my knee's been bothering me, and so I went to the doctor, and he took X-rays, and they looked at the X-rays, and they said that unremarkable. And I'm like, hey, I have some remarkable looking knees, but they didn't think so, and they said pretty unremarkable. They couldn't find anything wrong. Went to physical therapy. Physical therapy did a lot of turning my leg inside out, upside down, in a pretzel knot, and said, oh, you have a torn hibiscus. And I said, what? Hey, I'm here for physical therapy, not a botany lesson. No, a meniscus. So I have a torn meniscus, and they gave me a bunch of exercises to do to I guess compensate for it, because it doesn't untear. So there we go. Hey, Stoner Kitchen is here. Welcome, and Steve Russell. Steve, I don't know if I mentioned you or not. So Steve Russell's here. Stoner Kitchen's here. It's a party. We've got 10 people. Well, if I'm to believe that number right there, 10 people in the room. Scuba Steve. All right. Skibbity toilet. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? You guys keep me honest, right? Again, we have a small group. I think I'm trying to think of the most we've ever had at one given time is maybe 30 in the chat at one time. But it just went down a little bit. So somebody dropped off. I don't know who it was. I heard through Matt you are reviewing food at gentlemen's establishments. Not directly, Stoner. So basically what happened was it was a topic of discussion on one of his live streams on Twitch. Somebody just had mentioned that. And so I mentioned that when I lived in Texas, Austin, Texas, when I lived in Austin, Texas, I would sometimes go to the strip joints for lunch because they were supposed to have good food. Now, it wasn't like I just said to myself, I think I want to go to a strip joint and watch naked women while I'm eating food, because that's those two things, maybe for some people that goes together okay, but not for me per se. So it was not necessarily my idea. The company that I was working for, which I'll not mention only so I don't get anybody in trouble, because it's still a company and they have very strict sexual harassment, or what they can consider sexual harassment policies. But what would happen is like the manager of the department that I work for would say, let's go to lunch. Let's go to Yellow Rose or Sugars. I think were like the names of some of those places. And me in shock, going like what? Why would my manager suggest that we go there? Because apparently they had good and cheap lunches. But it was a little bit off-putting, to say the least, when I'm trying to enjoy a steak or something and there's like naked women walking around and everything. It's like it's not that I was offended by the nakedness, because I went into a strip joint. That's what you see. It's just that for me, trying to enjoy a good meal while that's going on, is just, those two things just didn't go together for me. So that's where the whole thing about reviewing food at gentlemen's establishments. I would not on Trippy Food even now go to a strip joint and review the food, because honestly, it's just, there's nothing unusual about the food. And the quality varies. So you go to some of the places, the food's meh. You go to some places, the food's probably bad, and you go to some other places and the food's probably really, really good. But the food itself is nothing spectacular or unusual. And I'm certainly not going to be filming in there. So yeah. So that's where what Stoner was mentioning was kind of a topic of discussion on Reckless Eating's live stream. So there you go. Stoner, I can't even imagine what that message was that you retracted. Okay. Food and lust just don't go to, well, it's not even lust. It's just that I don't know how to put this. It's like I'm focused on the food, right? So I'm not focused on the lust part of it or not. But maybe with my ADD, it was a distraction to have somebody walking around naked while I'm trying to eat, enjoy my lunch. So that was just, yeah. Steve Russell, I think, succinctly put it in a nutshell and said, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. So it didn't make sense. But like I said, the group went out for lunch and decided that that's where they were going to go. I went with them. I had a good lunch and, just went with the flow. I like protection of clothing between people and establishment and my food. And thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like you think that's not very hygienic, like having, naked people walk around, like it's not very hygienic. So stay away from my food. Let me enjoy my food. I go for the wings. The rest is a bonus. Okay. All right. Sure. All righty. So what about you guys? Have a good week. Everybody have a good week. Is anybody off all week next week? Everybody, got plans for the holidays? Going to be traveling for the holidays? I'm traveling for the holidays, but I'm traveling everywhere anyway. So they had a topless donut shop here in Colorado years ago. I'm trying to remember. There was a place that had I think it was topless, but I think it was bikini. There was like a bikini coffee kiosk, like a drive-up coffee thing where the women who would serve you coffee would be in bikinis. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember where that was? There was a thing where it was like women in bikinis serving coffee. So just an odd thing as far as I'm concerned. It was called Debbie Does Donut. Oh my God. No, but seriously, does anyone remember the bikini coffee places? Hang out with family in town. Oh, okay. Are you in your town or are you in your family's town? You're just staying local and hanging out with family? Because that's cool. That's the way to go. Hey, Ice Hand is here. Welcome, Ice Hand. Did Janice sneak into the room while I was busy talking? I don't know. Jared, you're saying you're hanging out in your town. Okay, cool. But just so that I'm not losing my mind. Well, I mean, I'm getting older. Maybe I am losing my mind. But just for just for those who remember. Does anyone remember that there were coffee kiosks? You would drive up coffee places where the women were in bikinis. Is it just me, or remembering that? We still have one of those bikini coffee shops. So yeah, I don't remember if it was in one particular area or they were all over the place, or they just popped up every once in a while. So I didn't even know they were still around because this was probably maybe 10 years ago. I heard about it or something, and I'd never been to one, but I'd heard about it, and I think there was on the news or something, and they would show it on the news. Because you can show that on the news because there's, nothing that they shouldn't be showing, popping up. But yeah, just kind of an odd thing. And it's like, I don't know why you do that. I don't know what, if you're the kind of person that just likes to go see women in bikinis, they should have a place where you just pay money to go see women in bikinis. But if you want coffee, they should just have a place where you have coffee. The two of those things don't really, like Hooters. Hooters was a weird thing for me, going into Hooters and people going I'm going for the wings, but the scenery's not bad. I'm like, yeah, but are you going to enjoy the wings? Are you going to enjoy the scenery? I don't know. Ours is called Beanie Bikini or something like that. I bet they appreciate it when it hits. Yeah. Well, the people working there probably appreciate that. Willing to bet the gimmickier coffee, the coffee shop, the crappier coffee. Yeah, Jules, 100%. I am positive you are right that if you have to resort to a gimmick like that, the coffee's probably crap, and people probably, some people probably just line up to get that coffee, even though it's crap. I was gonna say like Dunkin' Donuts, but they don't have a gimmick. They actually have good espresso. Oh, okay. That's just what you need. Is people all hopped up on caffeine around girls with bikinis. So I don't know. Goofy stuff there. All right. We are at 1:15 p.m. We might as well get started. We have a decent group here. The numbers the number here goes up and down. So it's at 9 now. I can't tell what it is. So, but there's enough of you. If there was one of you or two of you, we'd still be doing this. So thank you for joining us today on this holiday week. And again, happy Hanukkah, happy end of Hanukkah. And, we'll have more stuff during the week. So there we go. All right. So we're going to start with our adult beverage as we are wont to do. This one looked really, really interesting. There's a lot going on in this can. I mean, there's a lot going on here. It's a very busy can. The writing in white doesn't show up really well against the yellow and everything. So there's kind of a lot going on, but it sounds like a very interesting drink. So what we are trying today is Sorry Nippon citrus ale with yuzu and sea salt. So this is from Yoho Brewing Company. Yoho Brewing Company was founded in 1996 by Yoshiharu Hoshino in Karuizawa, Japan. And again, it is an ale made with yuzu. I don't know if it's made with anything else that you would typically make ale with, or it's an ale made with yuzu, but it's a citrus ale with yuzu and sea salt. So as long as we're on the subject of yuzu, let me ask you this question. What musical instrument is made using wood from the yuzu tree? Again, what musical instrument is made using wood from the yuzu tree? Dude, you bought a drink that is apologizing on the can. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, how does it taste? Not good. Hey, sorry. Shouldn't you yo ho and a bottle of rum? Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Let's see. This is a product of Japan, I believe. Yes, it is a product of Japan. And oddly enough, there is no California Proposition 65 warning on here. There is that, the government warning, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of risk of birth defects. Duh. What is the ABV? ABV is 4.5, so it's a little bit on the light side. You know what? I think, and I could be wrong here. You guys can tell me. I can't tell. But it looks like there's some stuff embossed on the can. So here, underneath where it says CACRV, it looks like there's some Japanese writing under there. Well, let's see. That's a sticker. I can peel that off. Let's do that. There we go. So it looks like there's some Japanese writing there embossed. Anyone speak Japanese? Anyone know what that says? And then on the other side, I'm pretty sure that's Braille. And I don't know what that says. I don't know if that tells you what kind of beverage that is or anything. But I've never seen that on top of a can before. That's very interesting. It smells like beer. Doesn't smell like citrus. All right, what was the thing? Tilt both, right? Yeah, that's it. Tilt both. Okay. It's beer colored. Lots of bubbles. Nice head on it. That's nice. It smells like grapefruit. I don't think yuzu is related to grapefruit. I think it's in the orange family. Nippon citrus ale brewed with yuzu and sea salt. And then there's some other writing. Yuzu, the beloved citrus fruit of Japan. Its juiciness is brought out front and center on the palate by the savory aragio or traditional Japanese sea salt. Here's my advice to people marketing people. Don't put everything in uppercase. Makes it harder to read. All right. Yuzu is its own thing. Oh, hey, Nashies. Hey, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Cheers to you. It's the sea salt part that makes that. Oh, ooh, that's nice. That is it's almost tastes like a shandy, but not as sweet as a shandy. If that makes any sense. And there is that saltiness. I'm getting a little bit of saltiness in there. Slightly, but it's not salty. It's not salty, but you can taste the salt. It's like the sodium. Have to get back to work. Have a good steam. Oh, thank you, Stoner. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week. This is odd because it's more tart. It almost tastes like, have you ever had a grapefruit that, like where you eat the pulpy part of the grapefruit, you know, like the white part, the skin that you, like the stuff that's underneath the skin, that kind of white thing that covers that, and you eat a little bit of that from a grapefruit, and it has that kind of bitter taste and not much sweetness. That's what this is like. This is more bitter than sweet. There's not a lot of sugar. There's not a lot of sweetness in here. And then with that salt added in, we get that kind of sodium kick. It's just really interesting. But to me, I guess I can't say like I've eaten yuzu enough to be able to say, oh, that's definitely yuzu. Yuzu definitely has a like almost like a grapefruit taste, but it is refreshing, tart, a little bit bitter, and delicious. That's gonna get a thumbs up from me. The pith, thank you. Yeah, very bitter. Yes, that's what I was referring to. Nashi's like you know, like when you go to eat if you're gonna peel a grapefruit and eat the slices, and you don't get all of that off, and you get that little bit in your mouth, and you're like, you know, that's kind of the flavor that's going on there. Hey, Grub Warp is here as well. Let me know if I miss anything, or if anybody asks a question that I missed because I'm busy yapping. So let me know. Could you wish old guy in Colorado a hello for me? Steve, why don't you just say, hey, hello, old guy in Colorado, because he's here. Boom Chicka Pop makes habanero mango popcorn. That is weird, but good. At least I think so. I can't taste so good right now. Oh, I was gonna say you could do a review on that, Jules, but you know, get better first. Get better. All right. So our question was, because we're talking about yuzu, what musical instrument is made using wood from the yuzu tree? Let's see. Did anybody guess that? Tom said drums. Ice Hen said the kayuzu. Like a kazoo. I don't know. Jules said the zoo, Z-H-U. At least I think that's pronounced that way. Actually, it's the taepyeong-so. And the taepyeong-so is a Korean traditional oboe. Like, I wouldn't even have guessed oboe, let alone the taepyeong-so, which is a Korean oboe. But, you know, they make this Korean oboe out of using wood from the yuzu tree. So there we go. So cheers. That is pretty good. I do like that. That's really interesting and different. I mentioned a few things, but it's all good. Carry on. Well, what did you mention, Tom? He can't see Tom can't see your messages? Tom, can you see Steve Russell's messages? Or did you mention that you can't see his messages? I see you said, hi, Nashies. I see you say drums. Did I miss? You said hi to Ice Hand. No joke. Oh, you were talking about the Debbie Does Donuts. We got that. Oh, maybe I missed something. I don't know. Yes, you can see Steve. Steve, he can see you. Say hello. Steve, say hello to Tom. He can see you. All right, let's start into our first snack. And again, we are going into our LAXC grab bag. By the way, LAXC video coming out shortly. We had done a video at LAXC probably 10 years ago. 10 years ago. We didn't show anything inside LAXC, which was very unfortunate for us because they call it the Thai Costco, and you'd want to see that. So we just recently refilmed inside LAXC. But ironically, the steam tables where you get the food, it's like a buffet table, was closed, and we couldn't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that video down, use the video from that, add that in, and the steam table partner, put it all together. And while we were there, we also went to Mei Ting's, who made the famous atomic Thai papaya salad. And when we were there, we neglected to get their coconut cakes, which are world renowned, and so we did that as well. So you'll see a new combined episode for those two older episodes, and we're doing a Be Kind Rewind. So you can't see his. Steve, check to see if you're on live chat or top chat. Because if you're on top chat, you might not see him. So look at the top of your chat screen and see if it's set to live chat or top chat. You know me, I like spicy. That's the one, Jules. All right, let's see. What are we doing first? We are doing. Sorry for making so much noise here. Okay, this looks interesting. He reaches into his bag of tricks. Val the cat. All right, these are Kranky. Who names a product Kranky? It's like what's your problem, dude? A little bit cranky. The product line is Ricolino. These are Ricolino Kranky chocolate-covered cornflakes. This is a product of Mexico. Ricolino was Grupo Bimbo, not Bimbo. Ricolino was Grupo Bimbo's confectionery business. It was acquired by Mondelez International in 2022. So again, these are chocolate-flavored cornflakes. Now here's the thing that cracks me up right here. It says, cornflakes with chocolate artificially flavored coating. Who does artificial chocolate? I've never. What is artificial chocolate? Let's see. Is there cocoa or anything in here? Chocolate artificially flavored coating. Sugar, palm kernel oil, fat, non-fat milk, cocoa powder, milk cocoa powder. It's chocolate, isn't it? Am I missing something here? What is this? What is this artificially flavored coating? I don't get it. A little bit odd, but they're chocolate, artificially flavored, chocolate-covered cornflakes. Now, as long as we're on the subject of cornflakes, what is the name of Kellogg's cornflakes? What is the name of Kellogg's cornflakes' mascot? What is the name of Kellogg's cornflakes' mascot? All right, here we go. You can use his nickname if you want. You can just use his first name and not necessarily mention what kind of animal he is. Ooh, these are weird. I was expecting these were going to look like little cornflakes. They don't. They look like raisinets. Look at this. See how close we get that. Look like raisinets. Set to live. I don't know why you can't see Tom. That's kind of odd. They're not as crunchy as you would expect chocolate-covered cornflakes to be, but it's possible that when the chocolate was in like a liquid form, that it kind of made the cornflakes a little bit soggy. It's an odd flavor of chocolate, and the texture is a little bit waxy, but it's not as bad as Hershey's Pukey chocolate. It's okay. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. You do get that cornflake flavor. There's a little bit of crunchiness to it. Again, the chocolate is kind of waxy texture, but it's not terrible chocolate. It's not like pukey chocolate, but it's really nothing to write home. I'm gonna kind of give that a thumbs in the middle, but not a thumbs in the middle, more like a positive thumbs in the middle. It's okay. It's all right. It'll do as a snack, but nothing to write home about. It's not like I would rush out and get another bag of those. And it's also like I'd never eat them again. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So the question was, what is the name of Kellogg's Cornflakes mascot? And the guesses were, let's see, Miguel Rangel said Corny. Icehan said Cornelius Rooster. Looks like those are the only two guesses. It is, in fact, Cornelius Rooster or Corny, either one. Yeah, the rooster on the box of cornflakes. His name is Cornelius Rooster, or was. I don't even know if they still do that. All righty. So that's that. Let's see. Let me move my bowl of water over there so I don't spill that. Let's see. Somebody just came in And I don't know. Oh, Joshua Maxwell. Joshua, hey, Joshua, glad you could make it. Good to see you. Happy holidays. Happy second to last day of Hanukkah. All right, what's next? Ooh, this one looks interesting. All righty. This, the company is Andersen's Crazy Candy. So that's the name of the company, Crazy Candy. Andersen's Crazy Candy. Freeze-dried fun. Well, we'll see about the fun when we open this up. This is Andersen's Crazy Candy freeze-dried peanut brittle, which sounds really interesting. We've done some freeze-dried stuff before. I don't think we've ever done peanut brittle, so that sounds really interesting. Andersen's Crazy Candy was founded in 2015 by Jared and Heather Andersen, so it's not just a catchy name, in Farmington, Utah. So as long as we're on the subject of peanut brittle, what snack similar to peanut brittle is made with almonds? Again, what snack similar to peanut brittle is made with almonds? All right. Fa la la la. Okay, this is holiday edition, limited time only. Fa la 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 fabulous. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Oh, let's see. The Andersens quickly discovered that their funky twist on a classic candy was a crazy experience with the best kind of side effect, bringing friends and families together in a unique and happy way. Well, we shall see. The OG freeze-dried treat. Yeah, okay. Pumpkin seed. Who puts pumpkin seed? Pistachios. There's pistachios in it. Ingredients: corn syrup, sugar, butter, baking soda, salt, water. Stuff you put in peanut brittle. Pecans, peanuts, pistachios, pumpkin seed. In peanut brittle? That was peanuts, but there's a lot of other stuff. And or coconut. Oh, okay. Made in a facility that may also process nuts. Peanuts may also process peanuts. There better be peanuts in here. It says peanut brittle. Eggs, milk, and soy may contain chewy or hard candy. It's peanut brittle. Yeah, okay. So again, was founded in 2015 by Jared and Heather Andersen in Farmington, Utah. So, and the question, what snack similar to peanut brittle is made with almonds? If you had to pick one meal to skip for the day, would it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Probably lunch, but lunch is supposed to be the biggest lunch meal of the day. So a lot of places, they skip dinner completely, and lunch is the biggest meal of the day. The reason I would skip lunch is because I almost always have a breakfast in the morning to break fast, right? Always have a breakfast in the morning, and then I want to have something later in the day so that I don't go to bed hungry. Like, I'm not hungry like at 8 or 9 o'clock and I want to eat something. So I would skip lunch and go breakfast to dinner. That's what I would do, but that's just me. But I know in a lot of places, and maybe not in the United States, but I know in a lot of other countries that lunch is the biggest meal of the day. What? That's freeze-dried peanut brittle? What is that? It's an asteroid. That's odd. It's kind of a funny smell that doesn't smell like peanut brittle. Now, it's funny because it's freeze-dried. The nuts don't break down. So the nuts aren't like the texture of freeze-dried. The nuts are they're a little bit lighter than they usually are. It has that peanut brittle flavor. The thing that's odd for me is it has the peanut brittle flavor, and I'm expecting it to have the peanut brittle texture, which it does not because it's freeze-dried. It does look like seafoam candy, Jules. It doesn't taste like it. I'm going to let that dissolve. The nuts, when they're freeze-dried, they do have kind of a lighter, airier consistency, but they still have some crunch to them. It's kind of odd. It does have that peanut brittle flavor, but because you're getting that flavor, your mouth is trying to tell you it's going to be crunchy and it's going to be hard and, you know, and brittle, but it's not. So you'll kind of let that dissolve. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about peanut brittle. It's hard and crunchy, right? Very hard and crunchy. But in this form, it just disintegrates in your mouth. It's really odd, but in a good way. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. That's really, really interesting. Again, you get the peanut brittle flavor, but it takes you to a completely different taste. It's a completely different texture, and you're thinking to yourself, like, that's an odd texture for peanut brittle. I'm getting the peanut brittle flavor, but it's just the texture is really weird. So yeah, thumbs up on that, I think. So the question is, what snack similar to peanut brittle is made with almonds? Let's see. Did anybody? I don't think anybody guessed. Nobody guessed. Yeah, it's nougatine. Nougatine is made with sliced almonds, and it's made very similar to peanut brittle, but it's called nougatine. So nobody guessed. So nobody got it wrong. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Let's see, did I cover everything? I think I did. I think I covered it. All right, cool. Let's get into our next snack. We're still in the candy realm. And we are now doing this. Now, this is Nestlé, which is different than Hershey, and the chocolate. Nestlé's chocolate is generally better. Most of the Nestlé's product, there's not a lot of American Nestlé product. There are some, but most of the Nestlé's products come from Europe. This one does. This one, they say it's either made in York, UK, or in Dublin, Ireland. They don't tell you exactly where, but it's either York, UK, or York, England, or Dublin, Ireland. So this is Nestlé Peppermint Aero. I don't know if it's a seasonal or Aero. Usually is peppermint. I thought we did an Aero bar before, but I don't remember it being peppermint. Nestlé was founded by Henri Nestlé in 1875 as a branch of the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company, which was founded in 1866 in Cham, Switzerland. So, if anybody, I don't know that very few of you are old enough to remember this. I am, unfortunately. But there used to be a Nestlé's jingle, Nestles. Nestlé's makes the very best chocolate. So here's the question. What is the name of the puppets that sang the Nestlé's jingle? And I just gave you the jingle, Nestles. Nestlé's makes the very best chocolate. And there's a big focus on that chocolate at the end. What is the name of the puppets that sang the Nestlé's jingle? They were puppets. They were actually not so much puppets as much as ventriloquist dummies, but I call them puppets anyways, right? So would you guys say a ventriloquist dummy would be a puppet? I think I consider them puppets, but that's just me. I use that jingle to get the time on the landline phones. How do you do that? You sing that jingle on the phone and it tells you what the time is? How does that work, Jules? All right, well, this is definitely milk chocolate. You know, in case any of you thought it was maybe dark chocolate. Is this in pieces? Yeah, there's a little break off pieces. That's really handy. Ooh, look at that. Look at the inside of that. It's got little air, like puff in there. And I guess the green part is mint. We'll see in a second. The letters with the right numbers, for some reason, it would bring you to AT. That's weird. I'm gonna have to try that. Ooh, that is minty. But it's different than like an Andes mint. Andes mint, you have that kind of creamy kind of mint center. This is a little different because it's very airy and light in the middle, but it definitely has that mint flavor. Chocolate's pretty decent too. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that, and that's going to get a thumbs up from me. All right. Our question was, what is the name of the puppet that sang the Nestlé's jingle? Shall I sing it again for you so you know what the jingle is I'm talking about? Nestle. Shall I sing it again for you so you know what the jingle is I'm talking about? Nestle. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. All right, let's see. Nashi said, Farfel the dog. Miguel Rangel said, the dog, which is half of what Nashi said, but that's okay. At the tone of the bell, Atlantic time will be. Did that still work, Jules? Does it still work? I have to try that. Yes, in fact, you are correct. Well, you are sort of correct. So Danny O'Day was the name of the ventriloquist dummy that sang the NESTLS next thing make the very best. Farfel the dog sang the chocolate part. So again, ventriloquist dummies, Danny O'Day and Farfel the dog. I'm going to say you're right. Whatever. And I feel really, really old that nobody else remembers that except me. So as a kid, I remember that. Because we had a takeoff of that song, we put different lyrics to it, which I shall not repeat right now. But by special request, I will let you know what those special lyrics were. And I didn't make this song up. You're going to school, with other kids, and you hear these things. Sort of like Comet. Comet Cleanser. They used to have a commercial on TV. We're talking about the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, maybe. They used to have a commercial on TV where they used the Colonel Bogey March. The Colonel Bogey March is a song from everyone remembers from Bridge Over the River Kwai. It's whistled. Now, they used that song for the Comet commercial, the Comet Cleanser commercial, and they had lyrics for it. I don't remember what the lyrics were, but we as kids had alternate lyrics for that song. So we said, Comet, it makes your teeth turn green. Comet, it tastes like gasoline. Comet, it makes you vomit. So get some Comet and vomit today. So that was the Comet song. Now, I will tell you that during World War II, there was an alternative to that song. Now, this is way before it was a Comet commercial. This is when it was the Colonel Bogey March. And there were alternative words for that referenced a bunch of Nazi leaders and their shortcomings. So that's a fun one to look up if you get a chance. You asked for the name of the puppet. I did. And there were two puppets. Danny O'Day, I'm sorry. So Danny O'Day was the one that sang the most of it, and then Farfel was the one that ended it. But the puppeteer, what was his name? Hang on. I have that. What did I do? I ruined something. I did something bad. The puppeteer, the ventriloquist himself, I can't remember his name offhand, but his two ventriloquist dummy, Danny O'Day and Farfel the dog, both sang that jingle. So, but yes, Nashies, you are absolutely correct. Farfel the dog was the one that ended it, and Charlie O'Day, who was also a ventriloquist dummy, sang the bulk of the song. Alrighty, what is that? 1, 2, 3 snacks. One more snack. And then we get to our soft drink, which is going to be fun. Trust me on this. All right, we're going to do a new. It's not new. It's new to us. I'm sure this one's been out for a while, but we're going to do this one. Because this is their famous one. This is from Keogh's Irish Potato Chips. This is their famous cheesy onion. I have always known in the back of my mind, cheese and onion. Cheese and onion, Keogh's. Keogh's makes excellent potato chips. I have no doubt that these are going to be amazing. I've never had a Keogh's chip that I didn't like. And my favorite Keogh's chip, which I can't find anywhere anymore, but my favorite one was the Irish flame grilled steak Keogh's chips. And it had actually had beef in it. And can't find it anywhere. They do not sell that in the United States. I'm bummed out about that, but they are all generally pretty good. So this is, again, from Keogh's Crisps. because they call them crisps in the UK, not chips. You can tell this bag was made for sale in the United States because it says chips. In the UK and Ireland, they're called crisps. Keogh's Crisps was officially launched in 2011 by Tom Keogh as a potato chip branch of the 200-year-old Keogh's Farm in Dublin, Ireland. So we're talking about Dublin, Ireland. We're talking about Keogh's and their Irish potato chips. So one of the ones, I think we did, I don't remember if it was the last live stream that we did or the one before that, where we did, I think it was the Trader Joe's brand of Cashel Blue chips. And I was mentioning that Cashel Blue's chips were made by Keogh's, and this was Trader Joe's just getting into the game. And I wasn't sure if it was they were just, remarketing Keogh's chips or not. I had no idea. But Trader Joe's came out with the new Cashel Blue cheese chips that Keogh's have had out for a while. So as long as we're on the subject of Cashel Blue cheese, where is Cashel Blue cheese made? Again, the question, where is Cashel Blue cheese made? That is an awesome brand of chips, Steve Russell. Again, I have not had one that I did not like. Who else has had Keogh's chips? Anybody? I know Janice has had Keogh's chips because I know she's reviewed some Keogh's chips, but I'm not sure who else has had. Speaking of Janice, where is Janice? Janice, did you come into the room and I didn't see you? Ooh, that's a nice smell. Oh, that's a really nice smell. Now, it's funny because it's not like, those chips that you get that are all covered with cheddar cheese and you get that cheddar cheese flavor right off the bat. You don't. You chew this a little bit and then you start getting that cheddar cheese flavor. And after a couple, that onion flavor comes in. And I like these because they're light, they're crispy, and they have this, you can see they still have the skins on them. And that's always nice too. Wow. Those are really nice. What kind of cheese though? It doesn't taste like cheddar. I would think it would be. It just says cheese powder. It doesn't say what kind of cheese. It doesn't taste like cheddar. So I'm not sure what kind of cheese it is. Oh, look at this. And they have this little tag here, and you can scan that and it will tell you where the potatoes came from that you're eating. Those are then the onion flavor that comes in afterwards is really, really nice. Those are big thumbs up. Those are delicious. Very light, nice cheesy flavor. And again, a nondescript cheese. Like, it's more of a strong cheese and not like a cheddar at all. I don't think it's a blue cheese, or they would have said so. Really nice onion flavor. Those are really, really good. I'm going to finish that bag. Not right now, but later. All right, so our question is, where is Cashel Blue cheese made? Adam Hebb said Santa Claus, India. And Adam, did I recognize you coming into the room, or did you sneak in? I think. Oh, we were talking about, Adam was talking about puppets. I said, I was talking about a ventriloquist dummy, and he said, no, that's different. A puppet is something you stick your hand up and control it. But don't you do that with the ventriloquist dummy? Don't you stick your hand inside the ventriloquist dummy and make his mouth move? I think. Pretty sure. I'm not sure what the difference is. It is not Santa Claus, Indiana. Cashel Blue cheese is from Beechmount in County Tipperary, Ireland, and it's a long way to Tipperary. Beechmount, County Tipperary, Ireland is where Cashel Blue cheese is made, which was another wonderful flavor from Keogh's, and now a Trader Joe's flavor. All righty, so now we are into, wait, did I miss anybody? Did I miss anything? You asked for the name of the puppet. Close enough, Nashies. Close enough. You were right. but there were actually 2 in there, and the ventriloquist did the. I don't know how it works. But you got it anyway, so 10 points for you. All right. Now we are getting into our beverage. There we go. This is going to be fun. This is No Cap Soda Pop. This is the company, No Cap Soda Pop. Now, there's a picture of a bottle cap, which it doesn't have because it's a can, but it's not that kind of no cap. Because if you'll notice, the flavor is Apple Rizz. No cap. I'll bet this is bussin'. FR. So, No Cap Soda Pop was founded in 2024 by Sam and Vinnie Wilson in Corona, California. They have other flavors as well. I just thought that was funny. The Apple Rizz. Apple Rizz being Gen Alpha slang. So as long as we're on that subject, what is the Gen Alpha slang word for pressing the tongue against the roof of the mouth to define the jawline? Like, I'm probably not doing it right. But what is the Gen Alpha slang word for pressing the tongue against the roof of the mouth to define the jawline? FR, no cap. Exactly, Adam. I've seen those, been thinking about getting one. Well, Jared, hang on a second. Let's open this can and let's figure out whether it's worth getting or not. Now, I will say that it's natural flavors, which I like. It has citric acid because there's citric acid in everything. There's citric acid, carbonated water, natural flavors, potassium citrate, sodium citrate. Oh, no. Stevia leaf extract. Ooh, I should have checked that out. Oh, well. Spirulina for color. Now, spirulina, I think, is green. It's like an algae, and that's a green color. Turmeric. Turmeric is a yellow color. Now I got weird feeling about this. Okay. We're going to try this. No slang. No braille on the top of this one. I do not, Adam. Well, not that one. I don't think you meant that. All right, here we go. Apple Rizz. Which is better than Apple Whiz. Kind of we know that the colors are from turmeric and what? And spirulina. So it's not from green apple. It has an apple smell, but not necessarily green apple smell. Yeah, exactly, Nashies. Stevia. Why does it have to be stevia? I'm like Indiana Jones. Why does it have to be stevia? Well, that's a strong stevia taste too. All right, here's the thing though. Well, that's a strong stevia taste too. All right, here's the thing though. I'm going to be fair to this, right? Because some people don't mind stevia. Like, here's a poll. Let's do a poll. I like to do a poll. I've started the poll. Yes, there we go. I started a poll that started the whole world polling. All right, I started a poll. Do you or do you not like stevia, the flavor of stevia? I do not. To me, it has kind of a chemical taste, and that kind of comes into play here. But I am going to give this some leeway that if people, some people probably either like the taste of stevia or it doesn't doesn't bother them. And so I'm just going to base the soda on the apple flavor as opposed to the stevia flavor. And but that stevia flavor is still a little bit too prominent. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up, trending downward, and trending downward because of the stevia. But otherwise, the flavor, like the apple flavor, is really, really nice and spot on. It's just that for me, the stevia just kind of makes it turn downward. But for you, if you don't mind stevia or you like stevia or something, it might not be that bad. All right. So the question was, what is the Gen Alpha slang word for pressing the tongue against the roof of the mouth to define the jawline? Adam Hab said mewing and asked me if I mew. And I said I didn't think so. It didn't look like anybody else answered that. But yes, in fact, it is mewing. So that gives you some Rizz right there, Adam. Yeah, really disappointed. If they had used like cane sugar, I think that would have been a really, really nice drink. That really, really strong apple flavor, like eating an apple. That much apple flavor. I'm a little disappointed in that, but whatever. It's bitter to me and tastes like it's trying to be sweet but failing. Yeah, Nashies. For me, it's like it's sweet, and you can tell that it's sweet, but it just has this kind of chemical taste. And the thing is, it's a natural product. It's made from a stevia leaf. They just process the stevia leaf, but to me, it just tastes too chemical. I just don't like it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Nice level of carbonation, nice apple flavor and everything, but just too bad it happens to have stevia in it. So, it's not bussin', as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's do this. This might be good. This might pep it up a little bit. I'm thinking that yuzu, without a lot of sugar, without a lot of sweetness and everything, might dilute that a little bit. Well, let's try that. And I think the tartness or the bitterness of the yuzu with the apple will probably go well. It does. It does go well together. That tones down, well, but you get that stevia on the aftertaste. It's very cool, very refreshing. That had the potential to be really, really good. It's just that, like the yuzu ale mixed with the green apple flavor really go well together. Just that stevia comes in the end and just kind of ruins it. Yeah. Yeah, not digging it. I mean, it had the potential to be really, really good. If it didn't have that stevia flavor, that combination of those two, that'd be off the charts good, but it's not so. All righty, back to our snacks. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Anyone need a smoke break? I don't smoke them, but I know how it's done. I never did smoke. Anybody else ever not smoke? I mean, like, I think when I was a teenager, I tried smoking something besides tobacco for a little bit, a couple of years. Not heavily, just occasionally, but never got the hang of smoking a cigarette. Tried to smoke it. I think I was 15 years old. Tried to smoke a cigarette one time because I think one of my brothers said, "Hey, why don't you try a cigarette?" And I started coughing uncontrollably, and I said, "What pleasure do you get from this? How is this pleasurable at all? I'm not getting any pleasure from this whatsoever." And I just never smoked again. So I never smoked cigarettes. But I don't know how many of you have smoked cigarettes, and those of you who had smoked cigarettes, how many of you have quit smoking cigarettes? Don't smoke, Jared. Ice Hand never smoked. Tried it and it was nasty. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I don't like the smell. Like when you walk into some place, when you don't. This doesn't happen so much anymore. But back in the 70s, if you walked into a place where people were smoking, and you get that ashtray smell. It was just like really, really kind of nasty. You know, obviously, if you're a smoker, you probably don't even recognize that smell. As a matter of fact, I would say that if people who used to smoke, who quit smoking, probably smoke bothers them more than somebody who never smoked at all. Because like I'd be, you know, where friends would say, "Hey, do you mind if I smoke?" I'm like, "No, go ahead." You know, I'm not into it. I don't like it. You know, it's a little bit offensive to me, but you know, go ahead. That's okay. I don't care. But to me, I think most of the people I know who used to smoke and now don't smoke, when they do smell cigarette smoke, they're like, "Oh my God, that smell, it's horrible, it's terrible." So it's kind of odd. So Steve, whereas you stopped years ago, do you have that same result? She was about the smoke smell. Yeah, I think it bothers people who used to smoke and quit smoking. I think it bothers them more than people who never smoked at all, because people who never smoked at all, that smell has never changed, right? It's always been the same. It's like, oh, I recognize that cigarette smoke. I'm not crazy about it, you know, whatever. But I think people who used to smoke, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, because it sounds like you have experience in this. I think if you used to smoke and you stopped smoking, I think when you did smoke, you didn't realize this, or for some reason you didn't recognize that smell, or that smell didn't bother you or anything while you were smoking. Did it, Steve? Did you recognize that it didn't have like a really good smell, but you smoked anyways, or did you just like not think about it? I don't know how that worked. Hangovers made that smell more pronounced. I can imagine. I mean, the funny thing is, I'm old enough to remember when you used to fly on an airplane, and you could get smoking section or non-smoking section. Now, when you were in an airplane, when you were in an aluminum can in the sky, it didn't matter whether you had a smoking section or a non-smoking section. If you were in the non-smoking section, you smelled cigarette smoke. Trust me on this. Years ago, sitting at the bar, the smoke smell was getting to me. Oh, everyone smokes when they're lit on. It's like the joke. Hey, guess who quit smoking? Ted Bundy. That's an old joke. So you have to know who Ted Bundy is, and you have to know why he quit smoking. All right. Let's see what's next. Oh, okay. I had this for a while. I just never got around to trying it. It looked really, really interesting. I think most of the Archer ones I had, okay. This is Archer Cowboy, and it's Country Archer is the company. This is Archer Cowboy Cut grass-fed beef jerky, or mustard barbecue flavored beef jerky. Sounded really, really interesting. So County Archer was founded by Eugene and Susan Kang in 2011 after purchasing a roadside jerky stand that had been started in 1977 in San Bernardino, California. So here's the question. Our question is going to be about San Bernardino. So in the Frank Zappa song, San Bernardino, the other name for San Bernardino is San Berdu, but they don't use it in the song. In the Frank Zappa song, San Bernardino, where did his girlfriend live? It's the first line in the song. Where did Bobby's girlfriend live? Bobby from the song San Bernardino by Frank Zappa. All right, let's give this a try. Let's see, anything we need to, a lot of interesting ingredients. Beef bone broth powder, apple cider vinegar, dried onion, spices, garlic, sea salt, mustard. Sounds good. Yeah, mustard. Oh, that reminds me, Jules, I still have not done the hot mustard. I'm going to have to do that. Hell, Val, I'm your age, and when I started, the patients could smoke in the rooms of the hospital. Yeah, with oxygen tanks, right? I knew a guy who was an older guy, was on oxygen, and would smoke cigarettes while he's sitting next to this oxygen tank. I'm thinking well, if whatever put you on that on oxygen doesn't kill you, that cigarette and the oxygen will. And the oxygen will. Oh, that's a nice smell. Let's figure out what cowboy cut is. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the term cowboy cut. Maybe like they run their spurs over it to cut it. Really nice smell. I like that smoke. Do they add smoke to it? Or does it have a smoke smell? Liquid hickory smoke. That's what it is. Okay. Adds a trivial amount of sugar. I wasn't concerned about that. That's a drier one. Jerkies, beef jerkies have a wide range of textures, right? So you have some that are kind of woody that you have to really like pull apart. A lot of what do you call that? Like fiber, a lot of fiber holding it together. You really have to part. It's very kind of woody. Then you have the one that's kind of spongy and chewy. Like, which ones would that be? Like, the chunks, the ones that are in chunks. This one is kind of in between. So it has some moisture. It's not totally dry. It breaks apart really easily. It doesn't require a lot of chewing. And then the flavors come in. There's something spicy in there. Not crazy spicy, not like jalapeno spicy. What is it? Black pepper, maybe. I'm not seeing. Maybe it's the mustard. It must be the mustard because I'm not seeing any kind of. Oh no, black pepper. There we go. Organic Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. That's pretty good. And again, I like that texture. I like it's kind of like it's dry, but there's still like a little bit of moisture in it. It easily breaks down. You don't have to break your teeth trying to chew it. And at the same time, it's not like soft like a raw piece of meat. So yeah, that's kind of a thumbs up. All right. So our question was, because Country Archer is in San Bernardino, our question is, in the Frank Zappa song, San Bernardino, where did his girlfriend live? So let's see. Nashi said Mojave. Doesn't look like there were any other guesses. Nashi's, you are correct. She lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. What was his name? His name was Bobby. He looked like a potato. Oh, Bobby, I'm sorry you look like a potato. Really, I am. That was the end of the song. Great Frank Zappa song, by the way. Do we have any Frank Zappa fans out there? He lived in a well, no, it is. He what? His name was Bobby. He looked like a potato. What was the he? Nashies. She lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. Oh no, he lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. It's he. He lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. His name was Bobby. He looked like a potato. Okay. Well, she lived in Mojave too. And then eventually she moved into the I got a cheap little ring. And she moved into the Winnebago with Bobby. All righty. Snack time. Thank you for setting me straight on that, Nashies. He lived in Mojave. What did Bobby do for work, Nashies? You remember what Bobby did for work? I mistyped she. She lived in Mojave. He looked like a potato. Right. But I thought it was he lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. Oh, no. She lived in Mojave in a Winnebago. His name was Bobby. He looked like a potato. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, this would be interesting. I know you were thinking more mustard. No more mustard. Not yet. This is a Beach Cliff fish steaks. Now, I'm not going to open this up, and it's not going to look like a prime rib. Fish steaks, they just mean, chunks of fish, chunks of fish. It is bite-sized herring. Now, the herring that I've usually had is, Scandinavian, and it usually comes in a jar, and it's usually like a little bit sweet, or it's in some sort of cream sauce or something. So this is a little bit different. This is Beach Cliff fish steaks, bite-sized herring, served in Louisiana hot sauce. See, is there anything else in there interesting? Paprika, modified cornstarch, spice extractives, including paprika color. Caramel color. Contains herring. Well, it better, because you told me this is herring in here. Again, this is Beach Cliff. Beach Cliff is a product line launched in 1932 by Bumblebee Seafoods. Bumblebee Seafoods was founded in 1899 under the leadership of Andrew Hammond in Astoria, Oregon. Now, we've been to Oregon. We've been to Astoria, Oregon. We have a episode from Astoria, Oregon, where we went to Astoria Column. Shall I find that for you? I can find that for you. Let me find that for you. Because I don't know what happened to Janice. That's kind of odd. I'm concerned. This would be the first time she hasn't shown up. Unless, she's just not here yet. Oh no, I did 2 Astorias. So I did the Astoria Column and then the Astoria Scandinavian Midsummer Festival. But I'm gonna send you the Astoria Column one. There we go. Make sure I don't close the wrong window. That wouldn't be fun. There we go. For your viewing enjoyment when you get a chance, the Astoria Column episode. A lot of fun, Astoria Column. Jules, you remember that? I think you went up to Astoria Column with me. You might even be in the episode. I'm not sure. All right. I was just looking at the top. Are we still talking about Bobby living in Mojave and looking like a potato? All right, here we go. Oh, that's interesting. So usually these things are kind of like lengthwise in here. Here they're cut in kind of cross sections. I would tip it to show you, but I can't. I'm afraid I'm going to get my keyboard all soaked with herring juice. I don't know if you can see that. I see that okay. Give Janice a call, text Vax. We are all concerned. Well, I am. Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. I'm going to text her. No, I'm only concerned because she's been present on every single episode we've done, and this is the first time. This is the first time since we've been doing live streaming that she hasn't been here, so I am concerned. But I am going to text her. I can't text and talk at the same time. Uh-oh. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is me typing and not talking at the same time because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I know you just put out a video on Friday, I think it was. Friday? Yeah, Friday, yesterday. All right. I just texted her. We'll see if she responds. So, yes, you're exactly right now. She has the distinction of having been on every single one of, even if she was like, hey, I'm on the roller coaster at Six Flags, but I just thought I would, stop and say hello, or I'm at the some food festival or something, and she'd always like pop in and say something, but it's unusual that she's not here. This would be the first time in the history of us doing live streams that she wasn't here, so a little bit odd. All right, let's try one of these. It does have a kind of a fishy smell. There, take a look at that. Oh. Kind of odd. You know what? It almost looks like, if you've ever put a shark steak on the grill, it looks like a shark steak, like a tiny, tiny shark steak, but it means cut the same way. Still has the skin on it. Now, I like herring. For some reason, almost tastes like sardines. They're not sardines, they're herring. Also, herring usually has like kind of a meatier texture, and this one is kind of grainy. Now, the odd thing is, it doesn't really pick up a lot of that hot sauce flavor. It has a hot sauce heat that comes in afterwards, but not really a lot of the flavor that comes in. And it does have a fishy smell. Kind of an odd texture for herring. Again, I love herring. Just has kind of a odd smell. Oh, I forgot to ask a question. I can do that now. What was the original reference to a red herring? Again, what was the original reference to a red herring? You guys know a red herring, right? Like, I'm following a red herring. What is the original reference to a red herring? I saw Janice just posted a video. Today, Jared? Was that today? I'm sure she's okay, but I don't know. So I texted her. Yeah, I don't know. It has the heat from the hot sauce, but it's missing that hot sauce flavor. The texture is a little bit different than herring I've had before, where this one is a little bit more, I don't know. Not really sold in this. Hang on a second. I have an idea. Now, this is obviously not Louisiana hot sauce. This is Cut Balam, La Anita Cut Balam hot pepper sauce roasted habanero. But it will do in a pinch. Ah, there's Janice. Hi, Val and chat. We're at Knott's Merry Farm with a friend from Virginia. I'll be in and out of the stream. Janice! Yeah, Janice! Hey, at least she's okay, right? And she has not broken her streak. We were worried about her. Guys, tell her. Tell her we were worried about her. Tell her in the chat. Because we were. I'm going to do this. Let's see. This comes out fast. Just a drop. That's better. This hot sauce has a really nice flavor. I think they just went a little skimpy on the Louisiana hot sauce. Maybe that's what it is. It's just like, it's a little bit watery in there. And so, like I said, it brings the heat. It doesn't bring the flavor so much. So I'm adding that to it. But you shouldn't have to. I'm going to give that, it's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. And it does have the heat, but it doesn't have the flavor. And the texture of the herring itself is a little bit odd. So I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle. I'm going to give that one a thumbs in the middle. I've had better herring. All right, Ice Hand, take credit for that. I made Val text you. He couldn't have cared less. Yeah, very funny. All right. Now, let's see. Our question was, what was the original reference to a red herring? I think everybody was concerned about Janice, so I don't think anybody answered that. Oh, I'm going to head out. Boogery and Junk, love you, Dad, and my pals. Happy holidays to all you, and healthy HIPAA. You as well, Jules, and give me a call later. Give me a call when you get a chance, hon. I'll be here. Love you. Have a good day. Get better. Okay, what was the original reference to a red herring? Was using a strong-smelling fish, which was typically a herring, to throw dogs off of a scent. So they would throw dogs off of a scent by using a herring, the smell of the strong-smelling fish, which was a herring. And the reason they called it a red herring is because sometimes with the very, very strong brine, the fish would turn red. And so that's why they called it a red herring. So they would use a red herring to throw the dogs off the scent of something because they follow the scent of the stronger smell of the fish. So that's where the term came from. All righty. Oh, and this is a product of Canada. So maybe if that herring was a product of Norway or Finland or something like that, it might be, maybe it would have been better, a little bit better. But for now, thumbs in the middle on that one. Thanks for the text. We were driving and then we went in line for food. Oh, no worries, Janice. I was worried about you. So, because you never missed an episode, like I said, even being on the roller coaster at the Six Flags or something, you still would let us know. So just was concerned, was slightly concerned, and glad you're okay, and glad you did not break your streak. So everyone is glad to hear that you are okay, Janice. Alrighty, another snack. Let's see what's next here. Oh, this one. Why did I not do that one last? Oh, because I don't think it's going to be as spicy. This one I do not have good hopes for. Nashies, are you still there? Are you still there, Nashies? Nashies, you are still there because I saw you just sent something to Ice Hand. Yeah, okay. So Nashies, you're going to love this. We're going to do a Van Holten's pickle in a pouch. Now, from our standpoint of Julie and I, when we've done pickle in a pouch, we found that typically Van Holten's pickle in a pouch tastes like a pickle in a pouch. And it doesn't matter what's down here. Whatever it says is down here, it still just tastes like a pickle in a pouch. With the exception of the ranch one, was it the Hidden Valley Ranch? I'm not sure which one it was. With the ranch one, it was just nasty. It was just off. It was nasty. And maybe it was the fact that you're mixing, a pickle that has like acid in it with some sort of milk or dairy thing. Maybe that's what made it off. But I think I saw something in it that said it was not dairy. Either way, it was not good. So this one is hopefully a little bit different. So this is Van Holten's pickle in a pouch, and this is Mega Chamoy flavor. So Van Holten's has been around for a while, has been around long enough to know better. Van Holten's was founded in 1898 by Jerry Van Holten, so it's not just a catchy name, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Mega Alimentos, they're the ones that make Mega Chamoy. Mega Alimentos was founded in 1987 in Santa Catarina, Mexico. So I don't think this is a product of Mexico. I think this is a product of the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So because this is chamoy, Mega is the brand, right? And it is a pickle in chamoy. What are the main ingredients of chamoy? There are 3 main ingredients. I'll take 4 or a combination thereof. The Warheads one was fairly tame. Yeah, the Warhead ones tasted like a sour pickle, Nashies. It didn't taste like Warheads, it tasted like a sour pickle. The Pringles one had non-dairy sour cream. Yeah, I think it was either that one or the ranch one. I can't remember which one it was, but it was nasty. It was just plain nasty. All right, let's see. Do I have some? I have my cutting board. I will cut it on the cutting board, and I will put it in my cup so it doesn't go all over the place. Although, knowing me, it probably will. I'm just going to repeat that question just in case you didn't hear it. What are the main ingredients of chamoy? Ooh. Oh, that is not a good smell. That is not a good smell whatsoever. Ingredients: cucumber. I hope so. Water, salt, vinegar, natural flavoring, sodium benzoate, potassium. Sorry. All right. Nothing in there that doesn't belong in there. Snips and tails and puppy dog tails. It looks like a Kool-Aid pickle because it's been sitting in that for a while and it's completely red. It looks like a Kool-Aid pickle. You guys ever have Kool-Aid pickles? That is not sealable. So I'm going to kind of park that over there. Let's do a cross section. Look at that. Red all the way through. It seriously looks like a Kool-Aid pickle. All right, let's try that piece right there. Yeah, the Pringles one was foul. And tasted nothing like Pringles. Ooh, it has a funky aftertaste. Now, chamoy is typically sweet and spicy. I'm not getting the sweetness of chamoy. It has a really funky smell. Pickle is the strongest flavor. Not liking that smell. Miguel, I think I'm sharing your opinion. This one's not good. I don't know if the fact that you've mixed chamoy and pickle brine together, and that's why you're getting that kind of offensive flavor, but you are getting, there is an offensive flavor there. There's only a hint of sweetness, but it almost makes me wish it was stevia. That's how it's just this weird sweetness. It tastes like bad sugar, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah, I'm not liking that. That's not good. No. There's some weird flavors going on there. I wish I could say it tasted chemical or something. That's not true. There's some weird flavors going on there. It tastes funky. It's like an armpit pickle. I don't know what's going on with that. Try the Van Holten's Blue Pickle Warhead. I haven't seen that one. I will try it when I think they have all the Van Holten's pickles at Five Below. I'll check out Five Below and see if they have that one. At least maybe it'll taste blue. But I did do. I think Julie and I did the Warhead pickle, and it did taste like Warheads at all. It just tasted like pickle. Miguel, that one is not good in my opinion either. That's gonna get. I'm gonna get a thumbs down. It did not retain what makes a pickle good in the first place. I love pickles. I absolutely love pickles. That one, it's just this funky flavor in there. It's like, I don't know, like it was fermented in a cesspool or something. There's just this funky, earthy, like body odor kind of flavor underneath it, and I'm not getting chamoy at all. So that's a thumbs down. That's not. I'm not liking that. Yeah, thumbs down on that one. Okay, our question was, what are the main ingredients of chamoy? Let's see. Did anyone answer that? Isan said snips and snails and putty dog tails. Yes, that is correct. That is exactly what are the main ingredients of chamoy. There or not. I'm sorry. The blue one needed more sour and more blue raspberry. Yeah, and blue raspberry can't be that difficult because it's not a real flavor. So it's our artificial flavor. I'm sure blue raspberry came about where somebody was in a lab and they mixed some blue stuff together, maybe throw some Tidy Bowl in there or something, Smurf blood, I don't know, and then said, "Hey Bob, what does this taste like to you?" And I'm like, it's almost like a blue raspberry. I'm like, yeah, that's it, blue raspberry. From now on, this flavor is going to be called blue raspberry instead of Smurf blood and Tidy Bowl. So yeah, I'm just not digging it. All right. So the question was, what are the main ingredients of chamoy? I did not see anybody answer that except for Isan, who said snips and snails and putty dog tails. And that's a good answer. I like that. Unfortunately, it is actually fruit, salt, and chilies are the only are the main ingredients of chamoy. Sometimes it can have vinegar and other things in this as well. Well, in this case, it has vinegar in it. But fruit, salt, and chilies. And if you've had chamoy before or had chamoy on anything, because it's a sauce essentially, that's not cutting it. Nashis, have you had this one? Have you had the Mega Chamoy Pickle in a pouch? It's not good. What does that smell? Oh, it's the herring that I smell. I was thinking it was the pickle. It's the herring. Not yet. It's on the list. Approach cautiously. It's worth a quickie, The Gargamel special. Exactly. The Gargamel special. Blue Smurf blood pickles. All right. Last one. And then off to the goop. Goop. There it is. Goop. There it is. These are El Nacho Premium Tortilla Chips. Where would you think, just give me the state or the country, where would you think a product tortilla chips called El Nacho, where do you think that they would be from? It's some bad news for you. You'll be wrong, unless you know. Mexico. I would think so too. Mexico. Yeah, no, not Mexico at all. Mexico. Yeah, good guess, but not correct. Anybody else? Anybody else want to take a guess? Where you would think El Nacho tortilla chips were? Well, I'll give you a clue. It does say premium tortilla chips, and not. It's not in Spanish. It's in English. You know. Yeah, everybody's guessing Mexico. That's good. Cali's a good guess. California's a good guess. Yep. Anybody else? All right. El Nacho tortilla chips was founded in 2023 by Joseph Casanelli. There's a nice Mexican name. By Joseph Casanelli in Waltham, Massachusetts. Yeah, I said Massachusetts. Waltham, Massachusetts. Go figure. El Nacho tortilla chips was founded in 2023 by Joseph Casanelli in Waltham, Massachusetts. These are El Diablo, The Heat, chilies and lime made with 100% avocado oil and regeneratively farmed corn. I don't know what that means. Regeneratively farmed corn means they ate some of the corn and then they threw the corn cob in the ground and they let it grow back into corn. I don't know. I'm not sure. It says enlarged for dramatic effect. That ain't big. But it says it's enlarged for dramatic effect. Unless they're talking about those guys, they're enlarged for dramatic effect. Let's see, what else? Siente el calor de cambio. Made with regenerative AGW regenerative corn, naturally gluten-free, no added preservatives, vegan. I'm not sure why like tortilla chips would not be vegan unless they put lard in it when they were making the tortillas. Stone ground white corn, avocado oil, water, slaked lime, sea salt, chili seasoning, cayenne, habanero, paprika, onion, garlic, lime, cilantro, annatto, which is marigold petal coloring, that yellow-orange color, and sugar, white vinegar, nutritional yeast. All right, let's give it a shot. Oh, I'm sorry. The question. As long as we're talking about El Nacho, what is the name of the main character in the film Nacho Libre? Again, what is the name of the main character in the film Nacho Libre? Smells like corn chips. Oh, they're kind of odd looking. They got little bits of stuff in them. No, not the actor, Miguel. The name of the character. Not the actor, the character. The name of the main character, not the actor. The name of the main character. But you're right. See the little bits of stuff in there? Hey, at least there's no stevia in there. These are a little bit greasy, but the chips are still crunchy, but there's like kind of a greasiness on them. Miguel, we're getting closer. That is his wrestling name. But what was the name of the character himself? This listed, I think it was 3 different kinds of chilies. Cayenne, habanero, which is usually pretty hot. Not that hot. There's a sweetness in there. What is sweet? I didn't see anything in there in the ingredients that would be sweet, but there's something sweet in there. Maybe it's the avocado oil. Oh, there's something sweet in there, strangely. Maybe it's the corn itself. All right. As far as tortilla chips that I've had, commercial tortilla chips, these ones are a little bit on the greasy side. But that having been said, they taste homemade. Well, they taste like when you go into like a dive Mexican restaurant and they're just making them, throwing them in there, and and they've still got grease on them and stuff like that. That's kind of what this tastes like, which might be more authentic than the ones that don't, like Doritos or something like that. Nice flavor of lime. I think there's lime in there. Yeah, it's like lime. Nice flavor of lime. There's a certain sweetness in there. Oh, there's sugar. They did add sugar to it, which is kind of odd. All right. So, and this is just because of the product name, El Diablo. I don't think it deserves to be called El Diablo. It's not that hot. Now, there is heat to it. It's a nice heat. It's a nice mellow heat. I think if you have a aversion to capsaicin and everything, I think you'll be okay with that. I don't think you'll have a problem with that. So it does have heat, but it's not crazy heat. It has nice extra flavors that you typically don't get in there. That lime coming out is like a real lime taste. It has that sweetness in there that's a little bit odd that you don't find in there. So flavor-wise, it's really, really good. Texture-wise, it's good. It's still crunchy, but there's just like a little bit of greasiness to it that's maybe a little bit off-putting, in that kind of greasiness to it. So I'm going to say thumbs up, trending downward. Flavor-wise, delicious, but that kind of greasiness, it's still crunchy, but they're a little bit greasy, and so I'm going to say thumbs up, trending downward on that one. All right, that brand is good. What other products have you had from there, Jared, besides that one? Our question was, what is the name of the main character in the film Nacho Libre? We eventually got there. Miguel Rangel said Ignacio. It is, yes, Ignacio was the name of Jack Black's character, who, when he wrestled, called himself Nacho Libre. So we've come full circle. All right. Yeah, thumbs up, trending downward, I think, on that one. All right, now comes the time on Trippy Food. Oh, we got plenty of time, too, when we do our goop melange. So we're going to do a goop melange. We may even have time to talk afterwards once our goop is done. Goop is done. All right, I'm going to cut this pickle up and hope that it's feeling pain, because it's not good. I do not like that at all. Is that smell from that? I thought it was the herring, but I think the pickle might smell. That ought to be enough. Wait, got to do some housekeeping here. Housekeeping. All right. Let me close this. Let me make this bigger. Let me move things around. All right. Let's see what's next. Let's cut up some fish. Let's cut up some herring. I'm disappointed in the herring. I was hoping that would have like that Louisiana hot sauce, that flavor would come out a lot stronger. And it did not. And I'm kind of disappointed by that. I like fish. Are there any of you that aren't really crazy about seafood? I know people. I know some people who just aren't really big fans of seafood. I don't know if there's a seafood that I don't like. I think if I would say if there's a seafood that I don't like, it's a substandard seafood, right? It's like bad quality seafood. It's like fish that's served past its prime. Something along those lines. Clam strips, things along those lines. But had a spicy kind, can't remember the name. Yeah, it's generally, like I said, I do like the flavor. I just don't like that kind of greasiness to it. So it was just kind of a little bit of an off-putting one. Okay, we got our chocolate-covered cornflakes. I'm a little bit cranky today. Hey, you kids, get off my lawn. Don't be so cranky, Uncle Dad. All right. We have our peppermint Aero bar. We got peppermint Aero bar, chamoy pickle, Louisiana hot sauce herring. This is going to be interesting. See, how much can I break this apart? This Aero bar. It doesn't break very easy. It crumbles. That's okay. Crumbles is okay. That mint is going to be weird, I think. Let's see. Let's put another one in there. So we got 2 chocolates. We have our chocolate covered cornflakes, and we have our mint Aero. Oh, I got my bowl. What am I thinking? I got my bowl right here. All right. My little hand towel. Me, but I'm also allergic, so it works out. Are you allergic to all seafood or just like shellfish? Like shrimp and lobster and crab and stuff? Or like, are you allergic to fish as well? Nashies. I don't think I have all seafood. Well, that's interesting. I've never really known anybody who is allergic to fish, but I've known people who are allergic to crayfish to crustaceans, you know, like shrimp and crabs and stuff. Yeah, I don't have any food allergies at all, or any allergies for that matter. The only time anything like allergy-wise bothered me was when I lived in Austin, Texas, and I got what they call cedar fever. And basically that's because the cedar pollen is so strong that even if you don't have natural allergies, you become allergic to this, the cedar pollen, and it messes with your respiratory system. Like, yeah, I that would be kind of odd for me, seafood. Let's see, we got these, our cheese. We've got our cheese and onion chips from Keogh's. I have always thought in the back of my mind, cheese and onions. Anybody name that song? I mean, besides the title, which is Cheese and Onions, but who did that song, Cheese and Onions? I have always thought in the back of my mind, cheese and onions. And extra points if you know what it was a parody of. Not parody, P-A-R-I-T-Y, parody, P-A-R-O-D-Y. All right, our crazy candy, Andersen's crazy candy, freeze-dried, fun peanut brittle. The Ruddles. Yes, it was the Ruddles, in fact. And it was a parody of I think I want to say I Am the Walrus. No, let's see. A Day in the Life. It was A Day in the Life. It was a parody of the Beatles' A Day in the Life. And my favorite thing about it was the very end of the song, where in the Beatles song, they go to a crescendo, and they instruct the orchestra to just start playing and get up to this note. So take this long to get up to this note, and we will all end up on the same note. And then it ends with a piano chord that sustains and eventually fades. And when they do it in the Ruddles version, it's really funny because you have that orchestra crescendo build, and then it ends with just a single piano note, done, and with no sustain whatsoever, and it's pretty funny. All right, and then I think last but not least, we got our pickle, we got our herring, we got our nacho chips, we got everything, and we just need our Country Archer Cowboy Cut Mustard Barbecue. The Ruddles were actually pretty funny. So there are a lot of bands that kind of do songs that sound like the Beatles. Like I would say The Jam, their song Start sounds like Taxman. There's some bands that just do their own songs, but it sounds like maybe the Beatles did it. Like I would say Lies by the Buckinghams or anything. But as far as like direct parodies of what is the one by not Oasis, The Offspring, I think, as a Get a Job was. I mean, it sounded exactly like Obladi, but I think the ones that were like direct parodies were probably the Ruddles, which you could identify which Beatles song that they were parodying, and the other one was Utopia came out with an album called Deface the Music, and that album was basically them doing like parodies of Beatles songs, which was actually very, very good. They had a video for, what was the one? I Just Want to Touch You, I think it is. Yeah, I Just Want to Touch You. And because none of the guys in the band sound like the Beatles and they were using their regular voices, it didn't really, it didn't sound like a Beatles, like they were making fun of the Beatles per se, but you could definitely tell that there was Beatles references in the songs. This is weird. You get the green from the mint from the Aero bar. You got the red from the chamoy pickle. We got the brown from the chocolate covered cornflakes and from the Aero bar. It's a weird looking bowl. Look at this. And it doesn't smell good. All right, it is goop time. Goop, there it is. Goop, there it is. Not looking forward to this. Nope. This brings up the worst in all of it. So you get a bite of the chocolate covered cornflakes, and it saves you a little bit, but mostly getting that chamoy pickle disaster and the mint. You should consider making a short where you make bacon-wrapped water chestnuts for the holidays. So here's the thing about bacon-wrapped water chestnuts. Water chestnuts are, well, unless you can buy them whole, I've never seen them whole. I've always seen them like in cans packed in water. They're only about that big. I suppose what you could do is you could kind of line them up so that they kind of make a cylinder and then wrap that in bacon. I think that would kind of work. That would be very interesting, Steve. Bacon wrapped water chestnuts for the holidays. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that before the holidays because unless you've noticed, I'm in a hotel room. So I don't think I would be able to. I'd have to have an oven to do that, I think, or a grill or a broiler to be able to do something like that. It sounds delicious. Now, would you say water chestnuts would be better to use than regular chestnuts? Bacon wrapped chestnuts on an open fire. What do you think? Bacon wrapped water chestnuts or bacon wrapped chestnuts? I mean, both of them sound good. I love that you travel with the Trippy Food sign. Well, it says like I go to different places and sometimes I've left something there. So like the Trippy Food sign I left in Boston. So when I was in Boston, I picked up the Trippy Food sign and it might, as long as it fits easily in my my luggage, there's no reason, not to take it with me. So you guys want a close up of the Trippy Food sign? I'll go get it. Canned water chestnuts is what I use. So, but how do you do it? Do you put them all together like a roll of coins? Do you do it that way? Because it just seems like to individually wrap that would not work so well. How do you do it, Steve? What's the method that you do to do it? Let's get back to the Gourmet Lounge for 1 second here because I didn't rate this. That's a thumbs down. It's not that there are horrible flavors in here. It's just that the flavors don't go together at all. So you get these little pockets of like there's mint and fish and chocolate, and it just does not go. And that's a thumbs down. So I have to have some of that beer that I liked. I need to freshen that up a little bit. It's kind of gone flat on me. There we go. And this guy, funny as it is, you know, it ain't bussing. It can go straight to hell. There we go. I sliced the bacon into thirds and wrap them around the flat ends individually. That's interesting. That's interesting. Slice the bacon in thirds and wrap them around the, yeah, that's really interesting. And then what do you do? Like put a toothpick through it? You put a toothpick there to hold the bacon in there? And then the bacon kind of fries that. Now, do you dry them off at all, or do you just leave them with the water on them? We're all learning something here. What do you think, Steve? Do you usually like try to get the water out of that, or you leave the water on? Okay. I don't know. What do you think, Nashies? Do you think that sounds interesting? I don't think there's anything there you can't eat, right? Nashies, you're not a vegan, are you? I think you eat meat, don't you? Do you not eat meat? Then you baste them in brown sugar and ketchup. Interesting. All right. So my mom used to make baked beans in the oven. That's not how you make baked beans, but she used to take a can of baked beans, put it in the oven, mix ketchup in it, and then lay bacon on the top of it and put it in the oven. That's how she used to make baked beans. It sounds like you could almost do the same thing, and you're just adding water chestnuts to that baked beans thing. That sounds interesting. I think it would be good, like crispy coins. Yeah, I agree. I might have to try that. I hope I remember that. I'm gonna have to try that. Well, as soon as I get to a place where I can, I have proper cooking. In this hotel room, they actually there's a stove. There's no oven, but there is a stove. But I think that would be best made in a broiler. I think that's just me. I've heard of the bacon water chestnut combo before, but I don't think I've ever eaten it. It sounds good. Yeah, I've never even heard of it before. It does sound good. That's how I caramelize the sauce on the bacon on top of my meatloaf. Oh, well, if you're eating bacon, if you're putting bacon on top of your meatloaf, that answers my question about you being a vegan, which the answer would be a strong no. But you say that's how you caramelize the sauce is you use water chestnut? That does sound good. Have any of you had water caltrop? Water caltrop is I think it's from Southeast Asia. It's a nut. And it comes from a water plant, and they float, and basically that's how they collect them. But you have to boil them for a long time because they carry this nasty parasite, and you can become very, very seriously ill from consuming this before you've boiled it. But they call them bat nuts. It's water caltrop, and I think it might be related to water chestnut, and they call it bat nuts because it kind of looks like a bat. Is anybody familiar with those, or has anybody even had those bat nuts? Or they probably would have been called bat nuts. Anybody? Bat nuts. Yes, ketchup and brown sugar. Yeah, she did put brown sugar on there too. I was a kid, so I'm trying to remember that far back. It's been a long time since I've been a kid. I've acted like a kid. I'm a childish adult. But it's been a while since I've been a kid. We grew up eating some very unusual things for two reasons. One, we were poor. And two, my mom was Italian American. So she was first generation American. Her parents were from Italy. And so we ate a lot of, and that's probably the reason that I don't have any fear about eating stuff, because when we were kids, we grew up eating like hot Italian sausage, head cheese. What? I think somebody's at the door. Maybe. I don't know. Hang on one second. I think somebody's at the door. Nope. Just a lonesome stranger walking through the hall. Bacon wrapped water chestnuts is a crowd favorite at our Christmas parties. Yeah, I can't say that I've actually had those. I'm going to have to try that. I've been called bat nut crazy, but does that count? No. Are you sure the second word was nut? I've heard bat something crazy, but not necessarily nut crazy. But yeah, I can see that. I have had them, but I was told ahead of time. I think I got them at an Asian market. I don't remember exactly where I got those, but I was told, cautioned, you have to boil them for about an hour before you can actually eat them because they have a very, very nasty parasite. What would you guys say was the strangest thing that you've ever eaten? See, like with me, it's very difficult because I could say that I've had, like, to me, I could say durian, but durian's not really that strange, at least, and not to me. Let's see. I think maybe the strangest thing I've eaten might be poke salad. So there is a plant called pokeweed. It grows, I think, throughout the United States, and people typically don't eat it. I think they started eating it during the Great Depression when people were starving to death. Animals won't even eat it. Unless animals starving to death, animals won't even eat it. So I was my then girlfriend's used to have a family reunion in Alabama, in rural Alabama. And they asked me, have you ever had poke salad? And I said, no. And they said, well, here's what it looks like. And they would show me what the plant looks like. And they said, just pick the green leaves, the smaller green leaves. Don't get any of the stem, don't get the roots, don't get the berries, don't get the purple leaves or any leaves that have purple on it, just the green leaves. If you go out and you collect these, they gave me like a brown paper bag. If you go out and collect these, we'll make it for you. So they did that. Now, to make it, basically, they had to boil and rinse. I think it was like 3 times. So they would boil it, and they would rinse that off, then they would boil it again. I think they did that 3 times. And then they would put bacon in a pan, and in that bacon fat, they would then put the pokeweed in there, and also put some onion in there. And sometimes you can actually mix it with eggs and stuff. So the taste is something like spinach with this bite, like a chemical bite to it. And the reason that you get that chemical bite is because that's the toxin that's still in there, but it's not at any level that's going to do you any serious harm. So I think it was 2 years in a row that we did that. And I think I have to say that's probably one of the most unusual things that I've eaten. As far as like dangerous things I've eaten, I've had fugu, blowfish. I've had that. That could be considered dangerous. Some people call lutefisk dangerous. I don't know how dangerous it is. It's because it's a Norwegian cod that's dried out, and when it's dried out, it looks like tree bark. And they reconstitute it in water with lye in it. And lye is a caustic. It's a caustic. I don't know what you would call that, like chemical lye. But what it does is when it reconstitutes it, it swells it up. So actually, the fish, when it reconstitutes, is actually larger than it was when it was dried. The thing is you leave it in there too long, the acid or alkaline or whatever it is in there is like so strong that it breaks the fish down and it just like makes it into soap. But you do that, and then you boil that. And I don't know if they boil and rinse that one, but you boil it, and then you put this like butter sauce on top of it and everything. It's a really, really nice flavor, but it's just a very odd thing because you're dealing with something that has been soaked in lye to reconstitute it. So that was a ghost knocking. I think so. Well, it is a hotel room, and there's people walking down the hall, so maybe it was somebody who's just knocking on the wall or something like that. Have you ever had lionfish? I have not had lionfish. My friend Anshu, who has Exotic Meat Market, he was selling lionfish. I don't know if he has lionfish now, but he was selling lionfish. A lot of what he gets is invasive species. So they're things that, things that are in places where they like nutria or iguana from Puerto Rico. They don't belong there. They're invasive species. They're destroying the ecosystem and everything. And so they killed the meat, or like python in the Everglades in Florida. I've had met and metwurst. Met is a raw pork. Don't care for it. Met is cured. It's good. I have not had met or metwurst. I'm going to have to try that. Is this very similar? Is it similar to liverwurst, or is it like the pork? Is it like the pork meat itself? Either way, I haven't had that. But now I hate to say that I haven't had something, and because then with my obsessive curiosity, it makes me want to go try it. So I probably will. Lye is a strong base, opposite of acid. Oh, okay. I know they also use lye for, they use lye in a couple of other things. They use it to get that kind of brown coating on the pretzels. And they also use it to swell up the corn kernels when they're making hominy. So it is used in food a lot, but surprisingly, the stuff that we put in food. We are at 3 o'clock. I was busy yapping and time just kind of got ahead of me. So I want to thank you all for joining us during this holiday season. I'm not sure about next week. Again, we're in between holidays, a lot going on. So I'm not sure. I will try to do a live stream for you sometime during the week or next weekend or something. Because yes, poke salad Annie. That's the same food, poke salad. But because I love spending time with you guys and I love doing this with you guys, I really appreciate it. But I'm glad that at least during this part of the holiday week that I got to spend some time with you, and I'm glad that you took some time out of your day to spend time with me. Appreciate it. Love you guys, and you are one of the best communities a guy could ask for a live stream. So I thank you so much for joining us. Again, remember to like, subscribe to the other people on the people in the chat, like who have channels like Janice Yamanaka and Nashies and Tom, old guy in Colorado. Check out their channels, show them some love. And if you enjoyed Trippy Food and you have not subscribed, why not? Go ahead and do that. So go ahead and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like the videos, leave comments. I always try to respond to every single comment that gets left. So, leave comments on the videos. But just remember that even though it's a joyous holiday season, that everybody has different, people are celebrating different things and everything. But just remember that it's crazy out there. So please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And I hope to see you again soon.